What's good, people? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be covering this insane inverted shake transition. I recently did this effect on M1 Casper's latest music video, Everyone. The video is on GRM Daily if you do want to take a look. It's got some insane bouncing buildings and loads of other cool stuff, so yeah. But the inverted shake transition does look a little bit complicated from far away, but trust me guys, I'm going to make it easy for you. And yo, shout out to M1 Casper and Visuals by Kai. Here are their Instagrams if you want to check them out. But no more talk, let's get straight into the tutorial. Alright, cool, so going forward, these are the two clips we're going to be using for this tutorial. You only need two clips. We're going to add in that inverted shake transition, but I'm also going to add a zoom to kind of match it up into this. It'll give it a little bit more velocity and make it look a lot better. So getting straight into the first thing I'm going to do is drag this clip one frame to the left just so I can see what I'm doing. Press T to open opacity and just lower it down like this. This is just to create like a reference layer so I can see exactly what I'm doing. Now I'm going to go back onto the first clip and press S and keyframe, P and keyframe, and R and keyframe. Okay, so we're essentially keyframing position, scale, and rotation. Now go a bit forward. We'll sort all the motion out in the keyframes a bit later, but now all I'm focusing on is just using all of these values to kind of just make sure I can match it up as accurate as possible. It's not going to be perfect because remember we're dealing in 3D here. It's a little bit of tilt. There's certain things I can't fully get exactly on the nail, but that's what the inverted shake transition is going to help us with. It will help mask that. So this is what we got so far. I'm not really a big fan of it, so let's fix that up and make the motion a lot smoother. The first thing you need to do is enable the motion blur effect on your clip, just to make it a lot more smoother when we add in that zoom. Then you're going to highlight all of these and then press F9 to ease the keyframes. Go into the graph editor and you'll see something like this. So someone I know was having quite a big issue with my tutorials where they didn't know how to get to the same graph as me, and this is what it showed for them. It's pretty simple. All you've got to do is right click and then press edit speed graph instead of edit value graph, and you'll have the exact same thing as me. Now I'm going to highlight all of the right hand side. I'm just going to make this bigger so you guys can see. I'm going to highlight all of this left side and drag it into the right so we have a sharp curve right towards the end of the clip. So I've just moved them around roughly, slightly altered the graph to make it a bit sharper, but this is what we've got now. We're one step closer, but there's still a lot we need to do to make it a lot smoother. Okay, so on to the next part of the transition. If we're looking at exactly what I did, I used a shake of my own preset, but I'm going to just show you how you can make one by yourself. I use Sapphire Shake, but you can use Wiggle Position or any of those ones if you don't have plugins. So now you've got your S shake loaded in. I want you to put the amplitude down to 0, press U so you can see it, and then put it up to maybe like, I don't know, 2.8-ish. You don't have to copy me like bar for bar. Don't get me wrong. Just whatever you think looks best, right? Then make sure to enable motion blur as well. And you can see even with a shake by itself, it makes that transition a lot smoother. You see what I mean? Like for example, without it, you can see the little tilt. It just doesn't look very accurate. But when you have a shake implemented inside of this, you almost can't tell that the transition isn't that smooth. So that's why that helps in this situation. So yeah, this is where we're at so far, but there's still a few more things I want to add. So this is the exact one I used in the video. It's the same process with a Sapphire Shake and then also a brightness and contrast flash added on top. Just going to cut that down so I don't have to see it anymore. Now on to the next part, which is the inverted effect. I'm going to show you two ways on how to do that. The first way is pretty simple. We can add in a invert just like this and then just Control-Shift-D, Control-Shift-D, and keep doing this over and over again until you've got something, okay, not that far, but you got something kind of looking like this, yeah? Then you can just chop the edges off like this. It is a bit of a long way to do it, don't get me wrong, but I'm not really a fan of this method. So you can just kind of cut out the middle bits, and then you've got an inverted transition like this. I might cut it off a bit sooner though. So that is how you can do it one way, but then I'm going to show you the way that I prefer to do it and the exact way I did it inside the video. Delete all of your little inverted clips, new adjustment layer, and add in the invert flicker from the Trap Essentials Foundations pack, which is available in the link in the description or over on onthecam.com. So yeah, inside the clip you basically got an adjustment layer that has the inverted flicker already installed on it for you without you having to press anything or chop any clips up. So I can just chop each end off like this and let's see how that looks. I'm actually going to make this a bit shorter as well, a little bit more snappy. Yeah, that's more like it. I'm also going to extend the shake a little bit more as well. But you see, the clip by itself looks a little bit plain to me. So I'm going to add a few more things in to make it a bit better. First thing I'm going to do is pre-compose this clip. and move all the attributes into a new position, and also tick this box right here. So the original Trap Essentials has quite a few different effects, but like I said, for a lower budget and someone who just wants to not invest too much in all at once, this is what the Trap Essentials Foundations is for. Nice pack with just a few different effects that will really help you out. You've got that inverted flicker which we used earlier. We're actually going to be using maybe the stretch CRT over the top. Let's see how that looks. Now to me that's a lot better. It also kind of masks the Higgs field look a little bit more, which I really like. But also one thing I will do, every clip's different. In this one I'm going to remove the scan lines just to make it a little bit lighter. And that looks fine to me. So as you've seen throughout this video, we used the Trap Essentials Foundations to create that insane inverted flicker in one click. But now we also made that cold CRT look in one click as well. But yeah, pretty cool if you ask me. If you do want to check it out, head over to the top link in the description and it's waiting there for you. I'm also going to press S on this one and keyframe scale, go a little bit more forward and just maybe keyframe it to, let's say about 118. I'm also going to keyframe position the exact same way and just kind of make sure it maintains that central look, just like this. And there we go guys, that is exactly how I did the effect inside the F Everyone video by M1 Casper. And after you add a few more sound effects, this is what you get. And that's pretty cool if you ask me. Hope you all enjoyed the tutorial. I'll catch you lot in the next one. Love.